we now turn to the open debate, speeches of 4 minutes, please, and I call George Adam to be followed by Claire Baker.
Thank you, Presiding Officer. And can I also take this opportunity to thank Graham Day for bringing this important debate to the Parliament, because my colleague is quite right and correct when he states in his motion the importance of local newspapers to our communities. It is concerning when you see that publishers like Johnson Press are looking at some of their titles and the very existence of these titles, because we can't stress enough the importance that these local newspapers and independent newspapers have to our local press, our local communities, and also to the political process locally, because it's these titles that go to the Community Council meetings and report on them. It's these titles that actually find out what's happening in the local authority and scrutinise what happens in the local authority in our areas. These are the newspapers that are doing that. And, Presiding Officer, in Paisley, we too have a vibrant local newspaper that has shadowed both the expansion and the difficulties and challenges that our town has faced over the years. Graham Day's local paper may have started publishing in 1838, but since 1874, 3 years before the inception of my beloved St Mirren FC, the Paisley Daily Express has brought the daily news of what's happening in the heart of our town to the people of Paisley. You could say that they've brought us dispatches from the centre of the very universe. And this newspaper has had to deal with the challenges of the modern world, like some of the issues that Johnson Press are looking at the moment and have already been mentioned by my colleague Graham Day. One time the Paisley Daily Express was printed, published and delivered in the town for the town to its current incarnation, where it's part of Trinity Mirror Group and where it's headquartered in Glasgow, but they still retain an office in Paisley, staffed daily by one of their journalists, so that anyone can still pop in and talk to a journalist from the Wee Express. And the history of the newspaper is such that many reporters, it's similar to what my colleagues already mentioned, reporters like Bill Leckie started their career in journalism at the Paisley Daily Express and went on to be a national newspaper writer in sport. And it shows you the importance to the actual industry and journalism itself. But I, for one, are really extremely proud that we still have this local newspaper, bringing buddies their daily dose of news and views. But the local newspapers, like the Paisley Daily Express, come into their own when there is a local cause to fight or a campaign to lead. Over the years, there has been many, and the Paisley Daily Express has taken responsibility of that head-on. An example of this, which their current campaign is to back the local council in their bid for the UK City of Culture in 2021. And I've mentioned it before, Presiding Officer. It's basically #WhyILovePaisley. Now, we all know that I come to this place and tell everybody why I love Paisley and how important it is to me. But the fact that the newspaper has been very positive about this, pushing it forward and directing this actual debate, shows you how important it is to our town. And they're going down the idea that the Year of Culture in 2021 for Paisley can be a regenerational tool, and we can use culture as part of that. And that's very progressive for a local newspaper to go down that very positive route. There are obviously the negatives with local newspapers, where I used to have an uncle who used to love getting it on a Monday or a Tuesday to see who'd been in court, you know, because they wanted to see what had happened and if he knew anyone that had been there. But these are all parts of things that local newspapers report on, because who else? The big national titles aren't going to actually report on these issues that are important to people in that community. So one of the other things is about staying positive about Paisley in these challenging times. And the Paisley Daily Express, their campaign Why I Love Paisley, they've actually had regular positive stories. And you can see here you've got a local business, Pirelli's Ice Cream, sticking up for our town when they say why they love Paisley. You've got Gary Kerr, local businessman, talking about £40 million investment in a potential picture house and theatre. These are things that local newspapers are good at. These are issues that will not see the light of day in a national newspaper. So, in closing, Presiding Officer, I would just like to say that everyone is lucky. Not everyone is lucky enough to be from Paisley, and other local newspapers aren't lucky enough to be the Paisley Daily Express. But as long as I'm Paisley's MSP, and as long as the Paisley Daily Express continues to service our great town, then Paisley's collective voice will be heard.
Thank you. Thank you, Mr.